We have been brought up by some values, principles of Shishukunj, right? Okay. Now, those principles never change. Courtesy, appreciation, respect. You respect each and every person and everything you look around you. Failure should not be used as fail. Fail, F-A-I-L, means first attempt in learning. Right? First attempt in learning. So there's no failure in life. You always get second chances, third chances, and fourth chances, right? Nurture your children, advise your children, guide your children, but don't force your ideas on him or her. Right? Okay? Let them make their own decision. Final decision should be the child. But what we do in Shishukunj is, let's put this way, Gammat Sathe Gnan. Right? With love you teach, right? With play you teach. You don't teach and then play. No, doesn't work.
Namaste and welcome to the next exciting podcast. It's the Shishukunj Legacy Podcast, and the person I'm interviewing today is a truly exceptional legacy. Namaste, Bhaskarbhai.
Namaste, Sonalben.
Bhaskarbhai, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. I know you're really busy, you've got lots going on, but I wanted to hear so much information from you. So I'm going to start with, just tell me your journey of Shishukunj, how you joined, why you joined, what have you done in Shishukunj in terms of portfolios?
I was born in Nairobi in 1954. At the age of about 6, I think, 1960, I joined Shishukunj. Now, why I joined, I'm not too sure, but Nasto was a big influence on my life at that time, really. Right? Okay. We were given magni dal hoy ne. Magni dal no chevdo omne marto. And I used to love that. Right? So that was an inspiration for me to just go.
So and food?
Food was one.
Okay.
And the other thing was games. Okay?
Games?
Games. The games we used to play there. My God, without any equipment whatsoever. Right? Running around, a 6-year-old loves to run around, right? And we played lots of games there. Langdi was my favorite at that time.
Is that
right?
the one where you kind of hop around?
That's right. That's it. Yeah, Langdi is hopping. And that was giving you coordination of your body. And that gave me a lot of pride because I was pretty good at it.
Nice to hear you say that. But when you sort of started in Shishukunj at the age of 6, right?
Right.
And you've joined, whether it's food, whether it's games.
Yeah.
But when you came to London, why still Shishukunj?
Right. I came to London in 1971 at the age of about 16, 17. Right. Okay. I came here to do my A-levels and so on, and joined my brother Chandrakantbhai, who was here already. Now, all through from 64 to 71, I looked up to one person in particular, and that was Devchandbhai.
Oh, okay.
Right? Devchandbhai became my guru. In my mind, right? He was my guru. Because he inspired me in so many ways, as far as his courage, right? His art of storytelling.
Yeah. So I definitely have heard you doing storytelling, and looking forward to hearing some more of that as well.
Right, okay.
Bhashkarbhai, one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about today was education.
Right, okay.
You are an educationalist. You are known for your knowledge and experience in child psychology.
Okay.
What you know now from when you joined Shishukunj and say when you were a teenager, a young Gariko, what are the differences? What challenges? And do you think Shishukunj is really capturing and enhancing the children of today as an educationalist?
Right. Okay. Let me put it in a different context. I will differentiate between school and Shishukunj.
Okay.
That will give you an idea of what I'm talking about, really. In school, the teacher will teach his or her subject, right? If you're a maths specialist, you'll teach maths, right? Not too much life skills, right? Shishukunj teaches life skills, right? Not emphasis on academics all that much, right? Okay, so that's a difference, main difference I see. Holistic development in Shishukunj, in the academic field, it's more academics. You are successful if you are a good academic, right? Okay, so that's the main difference. Now you are talking about today's children, right? We have been brought up by some values, principles of Shishukunj, right? Okay, now those principles never change. Those are good principles and they don't change.
What are those principles?
Right, principles are three I will say: courtesy, appreciation, respect. Right, okay, right? You respect each and every person and everything you look around you.
Do you know, I really want to stop you there because I've just had like an awesome thought.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was young,
Right.
I remember you sharing this with me.
Uh-huh.
And I can't remember if it was a Gendra or a Shibir, but I remember that you did this artist drawing thing around this. Could you do that for us today?
If you got a board and a pen, I could try.
I always just look, I click my fingers and look, here comes a board and here comes a pen.
All
Just
right,
what
all
we
right,
needed.
okay.
So you've mentioned
fine.
courtesy, appreciation and respect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Now, if I take this as a car,
A car.
courtesy, appreciation, respect.
As
right?
a brum brum car.
Yeah, boom,
Brum,
boom,
brum car. Okay.
Yeah. So if I look at it, that is your A, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll give it two wheels at the end, like this. Okay, right? Yeah. And then on this end here, I will put a C in front like this.
Okay.
That's the bonnet of the car.
Okay.
And then I will put an R around here to indicate an exhaust. Right? Okay? Yep. So that is our car in some respect, really. Right? Okay? Yep. That's our car in some respect. This C is for courtesy. A is for appreciation. R is for respect. Right? But all these three, I always say, drive your car with pride. Courtesy, appreciation, respect. Right? Okay? But all these three are under one body. And that body is what Shishukunj always gives to all of us. And that is discipline.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay?
Agreed.
So
Yeah.
I put a D. I should have brought this down a bit lower. Then I can put a D up here. Right? Umbrella. D. Right? Everything, courtesy, appreciation, respect is under discipline. So drive your car with pride.
And that's not taught in schools, is it?
No, it's not taught in
Is
school.
it taught in colleges or universities?
No.
But do we teach it in Shishukunj?
Yes, we do.
Thank
Definitely,
you.
yeah.
I
Okay.
really appreciate that because I think they're not difficult, right? They're not difficult.
Right,
to
right,
be,
yeah.
courteous to people, to be appreciative of what we have, to respect, to be respectful
right.
regardless of age, religion,
Right.
gender, all of that. And discipline, actually, when you've got discipline in yourself, what a difference does that make to work?
Definitely,
Right?
definitely, 100%.
And then I want to just extend that a little bit because you're also sharing your education knowledge in India.
Right,
So
yeah.
how did that happen? You're Shishukunj. What are you doing in India teaching education?
Right. Let's put it this way. Shishukunj teaches you seva.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Okay. Now, being with children, my expertise as well is in education, I feel. And at the age of 50, I wanted to retire, really, to do charity work. But financially, I couldn't do that. So at the age of 57, I retired to do charity work, right? Okay. And my first goal was education for orphan deprived children, right? So in 2011, I went to India and visited so many schools there. And then I created 12 programs of my own, right? Okay. 12 two-day programs. And then I started contacting schools that if they were interested in child psychology, every child matters, right? Okay. Right? Inclusion,
Yep.
right? Okay. And also about how to teach. Not what to teach,
How.
but how to teach, right? My expertise is in child psychology, right? Okay, even though I was a chemistry teacher for 35 years, but I've learned a lot from Shishukunj and my teaching, right? And how to deal with children. So from 2011 to 2019 or 2020 almost, before COVID, I used to go to India and East Africa every 6 to 8 months, stay there for 3 months and train teachers.
Was that paid? Like, were you?
No, I went on my own completely.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't a paid job at all. And I didn't charge anybody. No schools were charged. The only condition I had with them was I'll stay there 2 days and you have to provide me with accommodation, right? Okay. And 2 days they would come at 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock. There would, in my seminar, would be about 100 teachers, right? And it was an interactive training, right? Okay. Teachers training program, interactive, right? So initially there was a lot of resistance from teachers. He says, we don't want any more trainings at all. But once they got to know my training, they wanted more and more and more. So some schools are on their 8th program, some schools are on their 9th program, and so on. So I do about 20 schools in 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, so Bhaskarbhai, you've got all of this different types of knowledge of education and child psychology.
Right.
If there was something in Shishukunj London that we should be doing differently, do you have any thoughts on that? I mean,
Definitely. I have thoughts on that, and I started, especially about, I think 2016 or 17, I saw the need for our Talimi Karikars who were doing their A-levels, right? So we set up a program for about 2 weeks or so on, where this room was used as a classroom, and I taught them chemistry, right? So we want to extend that, right? Shishukunj is very good at doing life skills, but we also need to look at academics as well to an extent. Not to an extent as a school would do, right? But our weaker children need support at times. And I think there are so many educationalists in our society. There are educationalists, doctors, pharmacists, and so on. We've got a variety of people here, right? So to pass that knowledge on to our children would be very helpful. A doctor can come in and give a lecture to our let's say, year 10 students or year 12 students, right? To gear them into that field. Accountants, they can give them an insight into what accountancy entails and so on. So our children will be well prepared. School does it, but not in the way we do, right?
which do you think is more important, academia or life skills, to be successful in life? And successful, I know, can be
very
interpreted in many ways, but let's
Yeah.
just say to be comfortable and happy in life, which
Right.
is academia, life skills.
Right. Let me just give a definition of success, first of all, right? Success and failure are relative terms. Just an example. If you get 90% in an exam, you think, wow, he's a successful person, right? As a teacher, I took 10 children on an expedition and I come back with 9, so 90% I've come back with. Is that successful? No.
Definitely no.
Definitely not. So it's all relative.
Yeah.
It's all relative. And I feel that failure should not be used as fail. Fail, it FAIL means first attempt in learning.
Agreed.
Right? First attempt in
Agreed.
learning. So there's no failure in life. You always get second chances, third chances, and fourth chances, right? But what do I mean by success? Success is happiness,
Agreed.
right? I don't mean academic success. Both are related. You need academic as well as life skills, right? I don't want to become a millionaire, but I want to live like a millionaire.
I like that. I
Right?
like that.
I like to live like a millionaire. And I'm living like a millionaire because I'm happy.
So today's parents, they're quite direct. They
Right.
they know what they want their children to do, what they want their children to do. What should we be trying to help today's parents understand that their wants aren't necessarily the children's want and needs? I'm probably totally messing up that question, but do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I would advise to parents would be, don't try to live your dreams through your children. Right? The parents are doing that. Right? I want you to become a doctor. Right? An example is a parent came to me and says, I want him to become a doctor because you're a chemistry teacher. Teach him chemistry so he's good, and biology, and then he'll get into medicine. And I said, okay, he's doing A-levels at the moment. I said, which A-levels has he chosen? He was forced to take up chemistry, right? Okay, and so on. I said, what grades has he got at GCSE? And when I looked at his grades, he got C's and D's. Right now, that child will have a mountain to climb, right? But the parents want him to become a doctor. And his arts marks was very good. He got A's in them, right? Now, his interest was in art, right? Arty subjects, right?
Yeah.
And photography is one chosen subject. And I said, why not, right? So don't nurture your children, advise your children, guide your children, but don't force your ideas on him or her.
Agreed.
Right? Okay? Let them make their own decision. Final decision should be the child.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and I would add to that to say, let them even change their decisions, because
yeah.
as we go
Exactly.
through life,
Yeah.
circumstances, experiences change who we are and what we want to be. Just
Exactly.
going back to academia and life skills, is there a balance? Is it 50-50? Is it 60-40?
Everybody, right? Now look at some of our prime ministers here, right? Okay, yeah. They haven't got education to the full, but they have become prime ministers, right? Okay. Narendra Modi, for example, our Indian prime minister, he was a chaiwala.
I'm glad you said him, because I was thinking in the UK.
But Narendra Modi, have a look at him.
Yeah.
Right? He was a chaiwala. From that, he became a prime minister of India, and a very good one at that. Right? Okay. So, academic. What do we mean by academic? Right? It is not what you learn in schools. It's the knowledge you gain through experience as well.
Yeah.
Right, okay? So academic is a wrong word sometimes. I don't like that word because it's associated with, oh, did I get good A-levels or O-levels or degrees and so on? Right, okay? Right? So I don't consider that. Right? I've got a PhD. Right? But I may not be good at life skills.
True.
Right,
True.
okay? Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I think in summary, what you're saying is not everyone will have the 50-50, 60-40,
That's
70-30.
right. Everybody is different.
Everyone is different. Everyone is unique.
Yes, in their
But
own right.
importantly, from what you've said, parents allow children to choose what they want to do. That might change, but don't force your beliefs on them. Is that right?
Don't
In summary?
force, but nurture them.
Yeah.
Advise them, because they're young, right? They need advice, they need guidance, they need nurturing. But at the end of the day, after you've done all that, the final decision should be the child. Child
Agreed.
should decide.
Agreed.
Yeah, okay.
So talking about kind of education, society, choices, the direction we're going in, do you think where Shishukunj's founding principles, Maria Montessori, Gandhiji, Swami Vivekananda and Gijubhai, are we really upholding them, or are we going, that's okay, let's just leave that?
No, I mean, Shishukunj has got a philosophy of its own, which is amalgamation of all this. Right, okay, right? It is a process and a progress. We are looking at both indirectly. We may not mention Montessori, right? We may not mention Steiner or Froebel. You may not have heard of those names even, right? Okay, because having done child psychology, I know these names and so on, and their mindset and how they put forward those theories, Jung theory and so on. But what I'm looking at is Shishukunj develops a child with a simple understanding. You are brothers and sisters, bhai and a ben, right? So I am Bhaskarbhai, you are Sonal Ben, right? Okay, that relationship, because we are nurturing children from the age of 6, right? Okay, yeah. So all this are indirectly put forward, right? We believe in constructive play. Montessori believed in constructive play. Yep. Let the child do what he wants to do. Watch from a distance what the child is doing. As soon as he's in danger, then take away that, right? Mm-hmm. Right? But let observe a child. I'll give you an example of Montessori very quickly. He saw a child going to the seaside. He was trying to build a castle, and he went and got his 2 hands together, filled up with water, and brought it back. Right? Okay. By the time he reached his destination, there was no water left. Right? And his mother gave him a bucket. So he looked at the bucket, filled it up once, and then left the bucket. And then he went again and did the same thing again. He wasn't interested in bringing the water. He was interested where this water is actually seeping out.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Mm-hmm. And we do this as well. Right? At home, a small child goes into the bathroom. Mommy says, dinner is ready. Go and clean your hands. So he goes up and uses the soap. And he's making bubbles in his hands, and he's doing this and that. And all of a sudden, because we don't have time, he said, what the hell are you doing? Come on, clean your hands and come down straight away. But if you just takes 10 seconds with him, and you also clean your hands with him, say, ooh, these bubbles look good, don't they? Blow it up, right? Look what he's doing. Oh, we'll play with this once we've had our dinner. Right, let's clean our hands.
Yeah.
Child will be yours straight away.
So there's a real art, isn't there?
That's right, yeah.
Whether it's parents of Shishukunj or whether it's leaders in Shishukunj, there's a real art about connecting with children.
Yeah.
And that has to come from within, isn't it? You can't be taught.
It can't be taught.
This is how you must speak.
But what we do in Shishukunj is, let's put it this way, gammat sathe gnan.
Exactly.
Right? With love you teach.
Yeah.
Right? With play you teach. You don't teach and then play. No, doesn't work. Have them play first, right? Play comes first and then you teach.
True,
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
And in the sort of whole society moving forward, do you feel Shishukunj has really understood how to be inclusive in today's modern world?
Right. Has Shishukunj understood? Yes, Shishukunj has understood to an extent, right? Okay, right? Not every time. I mean, inclusion means getting all the children who are capable into Shishukunj itself. I'll take an example of Parasbhai, probably Mehta, Parasbhai Mehta. May his soul rest in peace at the moment. Now, when Parasbhai was introduced into the Shishukunj, I was Hofa, head of field activities at the time. It was my responsibility to get children into Shishukunj. I told his mother to bring him into the office of a bhavan at that time. And when he came, I looked at him and I was taken aback. His face was 2 eyes on the side.
What year was this?
Oh, going back, I would say
Was it in the 80s?
90s.
90s.
Yeah.
Okay, 90s.
90s, yeah, 90s. I think early 90s, yeah. And God, my son was with me, and he got really frightened. And the words he used still sticks in my mind. And he said, "Papa, tell him to remove his mask."
Wow.
Bhaskarbhai's mask. Now, Bhaskarbhai looked at me directly, right? And a drop of tear came from his eyes. Believe it or not, Sonalben, at that moment in time, as if I had seen Ganesh Bhagwan in him,
Wow.
right? For 3 days, I couldn't sleep. And then he was, as if he was asking me, "You think you are very great yourself, being Hoffa. Tell me, what are you going to do about me now? Are you going to let me into Shishukunj or not?" And that I'm very, very glad that I brought him into Shishukunj.
Sounds like Bhaskarbhai is somebody who's inspired you.
That's right, definitely.
And talking about that, who else are your inspirations in Shishukunj?
Inspirations have changed over time as well,
Okay,
really,
yeah.
right? Okay, yeah. Initial inspiration, I would say, was Devchandbhai, right? Yeah, because I was inspired by the way he used to deal with children, the way he used to tell his stories and so on, right? Further than in 71, 74, my father came into my life even more because we lost our mother. Mm-hmm. And my father, how he dealt with us, he was my inspiration. A person of simplicity, humility, and I saw he never ever complained about anything. Right? The third one is Maryada Purushottam Ram.
Okay.
Right? He came into my life as how he handled things differently. Right? Okay? Vivekanand was there as well, really. Yeah. So all these people have come in different parts into my life, right? But the ones who have really, really been there is Devchandbhai, always been there in my life, right? Okay. My father, right, has always been there. And obviously Bhaskarbhai.
Wow.
Okay.
So somebody, I kind of look at you, and there's somebody else who I look at, and I see some similarities.
Right.
I don't know if you do.
Uh-huh.
In Dubai. So
Yes.
Indubai was an artist.
Yes.
An awesome artist. Like,
Definitely.
just give him a blank canvas and he could create like magic.
Magic, yeah.
You do art. You're an artist, aren't you? You draw.
Well, so I do portraits. I started doing portraits in 2011 after my retirement from education. I had this positive feeling, and I always had this, that if anybody else can do it, why can't I?
Okay.
Right? And everybody else can do it, why can't I? So I started drawing portraits of orphan children in Bangalore.
Wow.
Right? And I put a condition on myself that I'll draw with a biro pen. So if I make any mistakes, it cannot be rectified, you see? So
Okay,
discipline, the one we were talking about, discipline before. Discipline yourself. So I started drawing that, right? Okay. And my first child, which I drew, he's from Chapada actually, right? Another place which I visit in India, right? Vipul. I drew him first, right? And I said, wow, that similarity seems to be very good. And he's become my adopted son now.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Really?
Yeah. Yes, he's my adopted
you've
son.
adopted
I've adopted 4 of them.
4 of them?
4 of them.
All
yeah.
in the same area?
No. Vipul and Vijay are from Chapada,
Okay.
right? Then there is, oh God, I forget the names. Chidanand, sorry.
Chidanand, okay.
The young Chidanand, not the older one.
Okay.
Who came here, not that one, but the other one.
Okay.
Right, yeah, Chidanand, right? And Jhansi.
Wow.
Jhansi is a girl and Chidanand is a boy. So those are my adopted children.
Oh, wow.
Only in name, nothing signed or sealed or anything. I try to help them financially and give my love to them.
Wow.
All right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bhaskarbhai, this question I think is probably going to be hard for you.
Yeah,
So if you need to take a moment, do.
Yeah.
What does Shishukunj mean to you?
Oh my God. Shishukunj is my life. Right? Okay. Day in, day out. Right? Now, at the moment, I eat, dream. Everything is Shishukunj for me. Right? Okay. Because I'm always thinking about those orphan children. I'm always thinking about those deprived children. So anything I draw now, and I've recently sold a painting for £500. It was a copy. Original I've still kept. It was a copy, and somebody paid me £500 for it. And the other one is sold for £300 and so on. All this money goes towards those children. So it's a win-win situation. I enjoy drawing, right? I enjoy doing that, right? It goes to a person who likes it, right? And then the money goes to the orphan children. So it's a win-win situation all around.
Wow. It sounds like you've got Shishukunj tattooed on your heart here, right
It's
here.
me. Yeah. No,
Bhaskarbhai, it's been a real pleasure
No,
and
thank
absolute
you.
honour as well. I've known you since I first joined Shishukunj many years ago. And just being able to sit here with you today and ask you these questions, and you just being open and transparent has been
thank you.
really lovely. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you very much, really.
So that was another episode of the Shishukunj Legacy Podcast, and an absolute pleasure to interview Bhaskarbhai. Thank you today.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.